Alright, this is Phoebus Apollo again, and just going to take a look at another emulator real quick before I head off. And don't know if I'll actually go back through and play some of these games or not, but definitely it's nice to take a look at some of these emulators. And this one is 1964. It is a Nintendo 64 emulator, and you would be really surprised by the how well this runs even on fairly new or fairly kind of medium old PCs. And this works pretty much flawlessly with most of these games here. And we'll make this simple, but the one thing about the 1964 emulator is its plugins. You will have to do a little research on getting the best plugin. Rice's Video plugin, the latest plugin, actually has a special option. Lets you set texture filters for a game, and you can load high-resolution textures if you have them for a game. And what that means is that people can go into these games, old games, N64 games. They can dump the textures in the game, like the settings for the grass or the layout on the castle, for instance, or pavement on, let's say, Mario 64 or whatnot. And they can use the computer technology to make them much higher resolution and make much better textures, or custom textures, just to overmap the game. And the end result is that you have a game that, older game that looks really nice on the emulator, or looks like special made, like specialty or whatever. So, well, let me see here. The classic. These are all nice games and all, but the classic is Mario 64. Super Mario 64. So, let's take a look at it. And I don't know if my controller settings are set the way they should be, but this also too has netplay, although I'm not too impressed with the netplay with this, but we'll see. Actually, any netplay I've ever done over Kelly era server has just been awful, but we'll see. And some of these settings, any recommendations. Actually, my recommendation is just to do a little research on the video, especially the video settings. And yeah, you can actually meld the video to the way you want it quite a bit. And I want this to take up the whole screen or something, because why am I playing Super Bowling? I don't want to play Super Bowling. I didn't ask for that. I said Super Mario. There we go. Alright, seems like I need to resize my window or something, because whoa. Alright. It's Mario. It's been a while since I checked my settings, so I might not have the best settings for this, but we'll see. Alright. And, well, apparently I was playing a game there. Let's see the famous intro scene. And here's Peach. Yep. Cake. Because Mario has a one-track mind. Cake. Yeah, I don't trust that dude with the camera. Asshole's always throwing spinies everywhere. Fuck that guy. And, alright. It's time to make my big debut. Woohoo! Alright. Mario. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. Doo-doo. Oops. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that, well, actually you may or may not notice it, but the textures on this are already customized. And the ground, the grass, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm sure it'll be really hard to tell once you, the real easy or really noticeable one is this here. The walkway to the castle is really nice looking. But, you can't really tell from there. And, oops. You'll notice it emulates pretty much everything perfectly, and if I took the time to configure this for my new system, I'm sure it would look even better. And, we'll go do level real quick just to show you gameplay. And, wow, his eyes just totally disappeared. Why was that? That was weird. That's what happens when you don't check the configurations of your emulator before you decide to play. So, keep that in mind if you decide to try this. And everything's dark. And Bowser laughed. Was he laughing because everything was dark? Alright. I can hear myself running, but I can't see any video. Alright, that's bullshit. Time to end that. Alright. We'll take another look here, just to see if I can't get something that plays, just for a little bit. Legend of Zelda. Let's check this out. Playable. It's a comment. This is playable. So we'll see how playable it is. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, folks, besides the shittiness of that, let me try it one more time. Games. Let's try this one more time. And there's probably also new plugins since then, too. And that's worth noting. Though, I need to make sure that the settings are right here. Alright, whatever. Legend of Zelda. And we'll do number 2, actually. And, wow, that looked a little nasty. So, Majora's Mask. We'll just continue whatever game I was playing before. This is the ominous time-traveling Zelda, and you notice some of the graphics are a little off. That's because, again, I didn't configure any of this before deciding to do this. But that actually was probably a good thing, because it sort of gives you an idea as to what to expect. Especially if you can't get the emulator running perfectly on your system, which will largely depend on your system. I've mentioned it before with the other video, but just in case I didn't get a chance, or you didn't get a chance to notice it, my system is a AMD Athlon 64x2 5000. I don't want to even know what that guy's talking about. I can't even see what he's saying. Dual core AMD 64-bit 5000. And oh yeah, I got the good sword. I don't recall. This is just a really badass sword if I remember. Alright, and screw you, guy. Yeah, I have a sword. Fuck off. And what's annoying is this game is based on time traveling, and yes, all the graphical displays and flickering are on account of my video settings not being set right. And oh yeah, and to list my specs fully, got 4 GB of RAM and a Nvidia Geforce 8800 GTS. So by no means, you know, like incapable of playing this well. So I should be getting better frame rates than I am, but whatever. All right, so let's just engage in a little fighting here just to demonstrate. And menu. At least the menu works. One of these days I'll actually finish this game. I've never actually beat this game before. Always get somewhat into it and then just get pulled away from it. And to tell you the truth, I mean, it's kind of a pain to play. Oh, hold up. Let me check that out. guy's all messed up. Oh, there's the moon. Crazy moon gonna fall into the earth. Always love that in this game. That moon is the best. You know, I don't even remember what my objective was in this game, so I'm just sort of wandering mindlessly. And, you know, probably just cut the video short, actually, because this emulator is looking like shit, and it doesn't do good to showcase the emulator very well when it's looking like shit. But the one thing that I do want to note is that when you get these settings tweaked a little bit, this thing plays pretty much flawlessly, even with an old video card. And by old, I mean old by 2007 standards, which, you know, will be really old in the future. But I know that until just recently, the video cards required for this kind of thing were not very accessible, and you didn't really expect to hate these kids, and you didn't really expect to, you know, get all that. All right. So, yeah, and that is Legend of Zelda 2 on this, and I ain't got shit to do because I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. All I know is that I got a good sword, and my shield is a shield, so I'm all ready to do combat, especially against that asshole. Get away. Oh. Check. Alright. So, okay, that concludes my look at 1964. Really excellent emulator, and you know, besides making sure that you have to tweak it, which requires a little research, and definitely explore the high texture packages available for some of these games. They're really easy to install and really improve the game quality a lot. Alright, so that's it. Have a good night.